I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods 10 to the Sky. Here we are again, All the Mods 10 to the Sky, and last episode I did the unthinkable. I made 2 All the Mods star blocks requiring 18 stars that we crafted all at once. And yes, this is quite the challenge to do, but what I want to do today is actually fully automate star production. Yes, that means we've got to get ourselves a Starry bee. Now, you know what? Since today we're going to be fully automating the All the Mods star and star block production, I mean, I would love to see some of the statistics from you guys. What has been your playtime thus far? My playtime has been, well, quite a lot. I have 5.7 days worth of playtime in this pack, and I would love to hear what's been your playtime thus far. All right, let's get on with the video. But now, why would I want to automate this? Well, it's more than just an achievement. Once we actually get this, we can do all kinds of stuff. Like, they even give us creative chemical tanks, creative fluid tanks. This gives us the ability to quite literally make anything we want. So if we want any type of material or liquid, it can be infinitely produced with a creative tank. Or if we want to make infinite antimatter, it can be produced with a creative chemical tank. It's kind of absurd. We could make infinite steam and have unlimited power that way, but we can also just use the star in general to quite literally make unlimited power. Or combine up some source jars and make unlimited source. I mean, there's so many different things that we can do with it, but my main goal is to automate them and make sure they're indefinitely generating for the remainder of this world, and forever long this world stays in existence. To do this, we are going to need the Starry bee. Now, the Starry bee is going to require us to give a Patrick bee a block of all the mod stars. So, yes, it's very expensive, and then the bee itself, well, it is going to need the all the mod star block to pollinate from. And this is how we can set it up inside of a simulation to be able to produce all of the combs that the Starry bee produces. Now, in my opinion, the hardest part about doing all of this is just getting the Patrick bee, because the Patrick bee is going to require us to build an artificial fishing spot. Now, how do we get the Patrick bee? And it doesn't actually say in here, but normally it would say warm ocean is where we fish this up. I at least know that this is farmed in a warm ocean, so we are going to need to go there in order to actually get this. And I also recommend making a fishing rod that probably has some decent enchants on it. That's also kind of recommended. But I mean, what fishing rod is like the best one to use? I mean, personally, I think the Supremium rod is one of the best ones to get set up. And making a Supremium rod should be fairly easy if you've already made the star. And as far as enchants go, I think this is probably going to be more than enough. Lure and Luck of the Sea, very, very nice enchants. It's just going to make fishing so much faster. And the fact that it's a Supremium rod also makes it faster innately. But now, how do we find a warm ocean biome in the Skyblock? That could be kind of challenging. We could create an artificial warm ocean biome. I believe that that is what the R's islands can generate. There is one that does generate an ocean biome, I know, but I don't know if it's specifically a warm ocean. This one, the Ritual of Cascading, I do believe, creates an island of cascading archwood, coral, sugarcane, and requires a full jar. It says, note, this ritual be performed at least 14 blocks away from any other. Doesn't tell me that it does generate an ocean biome, but I'm almost positive this does generate an ocean biome. But I think we can use like the Nature's Compass, and we can search warm ocean specifically. And we do want to find specifically a warm ocean if at all possible. Oh boy, there doesn't seem to be one nearby. And I'm almost positive that there are different biomes, because if we travel out here, we should be able to see different biomes pop up. I mean, like, for example, right here, it says biome beach. We are in a beach biome. And if I continue on, we should end up in an ocean biome. I just seen a minute ago, we were in a lush biome, for example. Now we're in a river biome. Bamboo jungle. Interesting. I mean, I wonder if we just fish in general, is this going to work, or is it going to pull like treasure enchants? Maybe it no longer in this pack requires oceans because they don't want ocean biomes existing, because it may make it really hard for you to do certain tasks if you're in an ocean biome. I don't know. Like, there's a water bee. That's not exactly what we want. By the way, we got to be kind of careful. If we do summon in a Patrick bee and we get it, it is going to be hostile. And there is a quick way that we can make them unhostile, and that is by using like a treat, a honey treat. And if we use a honey treat on them, if we can click them fast enough, it actually makes them happy again. By the way, these water bees are actually pretty nice to get your hands on in general. The water bees, they sort of give you a bunch of fish, right? They give you a lot of different fish variants from your setups. But yeah, Patrick bee. Can we fish it up like this? I don't know. I mean, there's a prismarine bee. I mean, what's the requirements for the prismarine bee? Now, I have a feeling that we may need to increase the size of our water to make sure that we can potentially qualify for like the treasure enchants, but maybe not. There's an oily bee. And I think this, yeah, actually we may just need to get lucky. Honestly, we could probably just fish from this area right here. Like the oily bee should have been like in the same role as the Patrick bee. I think we just have to wait it out. Maybe I don't even need any extra water. We just need this area right here. I mean, all I really need is just one. We just need one Patrick bee. That is it. Come on, Patrick bee. Nope, another watery bee. I mean, we're getting somewhere. Sometimes I've gotten incredibly lucky. Sometimes I've not gotten lucky this time. I mean, it's definitely taken a little bit longer than normal. Oh, and there we go. So literally the next cast. But it stung me. And that means it's technically dying, right? Maybe not. It should say if it's dying here, breeds any flower. I think we might be able to convert it still, and it's not going to be in a dying state. I don't see where it says dying though. Maybe that's not the case. If I spawn it back in, I mean, wouldn't it tell me if it was dying here? I think it would. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. If that's the case, that was a close call. A very close call. So now that we have the Patrick bee, let's just make sure this guy is nice and safe with our stasis chamber. I'm just checking everything here. Adult type hive. It doesn't say that it's dying. It still has its stinger technically. So I think we're fine. And now we just need to take this and right click it on there. And now we have ourselves the Starry bee, the star of the show. I'm going to pick you up. And, well, we now have the ability to start technically farming this thing. So let's take one of these productive Omega upgrades and put that in here so that way we can get our Starry bee inside of a hive. And then in front of it, we can give it the star block. And this guy is technically ready to start farming. And I do have, I think, all of these hives connected to my system here. And yes, they are connected to the SFM. And this is about it, right? We just need to give it a little bump. And then we are going to pop into our drawer. I'm actually going to put a double drawer in here because this is going to produce nether star fragments and also the star fragments. So it kind of produces a little bit of both. And if we accelerate this, there we go. We're starting to get some combs. Those combs should be processing into nether star shards and all the mod fragments. So we can throw those both inside of here. And then all we have to do is take our config tool, lock this drawer, and then add this to our B area. There we go. And now all of our centrifuges should automatically send all the star shards, just like so, directly in here. That was just from one accelerate. Now I do want the pokey pokies in here. And this is going to be kind of important because I'm going to sit here and probably accelerate this for a while until I can get enough gene samples, which can take a tremendous amount of time. But in that time, we should also build up a ton of these star shards, which will be a nice boost prior to this. Is this 100% necessary? No, but I would like to have 5 of these in here if at all possible. So I'll take the pokey pokies, place them in, and then I will keep accelerating this. And we should notice gene samples coming out of this every now and then. Also, by the way, this is not the greatest productivity bee ever. So I should probably take this this productivity here and take them out and probably upgrade them. That would be a better idea, I think. Now, to get a bee out of here, you just simply put this back in, and it puts the bee inside of this slot. So we can come down here, and we can grab a gene sample from any of our other bees, like one of these over here. We have like productivity highs, I do believe, that are inside of here somewhere. I'll have to say there's one. There's all my productivity highs. I'll just combine that with a comb, and we'll get this guy a little bit stronger here. Yeah, nice productivity. And already from that one setup here, we have 4% on our Starry bee from that acceleration. Just dire things really coming in handy here. We can also expand this even further by leveling that up, and then also using our time in the bottle on top of that to make this go even faster. And we just gotta have our fingers crossed that we get more of these gene samples. So now I have been accelerating this quite a bit, and I tell you what, this has still barely gotten to 45%. And I think at this point, I'm probably better off with the amount of shards that I have. I'm probably better off just making another bee the normal way. So, you know what? Let's take these shards and let's just turn them into more stars. Since now we can make all of these stars. We can just make more blocks now with what we have, because this does generate quite a bit on its own, just being a single bee, so long as you have yourself a time wand. And now that I know how easy it is to get another Patrick bee by just simply fishing outside inside of my my sewage dump area, disregard. Yeah, since I know how easy it is to do that, we can just, we can automate this. So over here, I do have a crafting table that just simply needs some power, which we're going to work on here in a second. But before I give it power, I need to create a pattern for making Patrick bees, or Patrick stars. So Patrick stars are going to require all of these individual items here in order to use those star shards. So let's go ahead and see what all we need. So we need pink, we need concrete powder, we're going to need magenta. I guess we can add all of these things to it. We also need magenta concrete powder. Thankfully, I have all the dyes automated, so making this is quite simple, really. And there we go. All of our patterns ready to be tossed into the system here. That should give me everything needed to actually make the star itself. And we can see that by all of the things turning blue. I'm going to go ahead and create that pattern. And just like we've done before, I'm just going to request a Patrick star here. I don't know why pink dye isn't automated. I definitely automated every dye. Don't know why that's not there. Anyways, so let's do this again. We'll perform a simple craft here. That's going to pull all of the items into the barrel that's needed to actually craft up the Patrick. And then we can just go in here and add it into the system and then shift to lock it into position. And now I can take all of these out. And this is now ready to go. We just got to give this, this whole thing some power. And I'm going to use my disguised modular router here to send power from within this thing's buffer, which we are going to give to it from a gate. And now this is powered up, ready to go, and we are ready to now craft a Patrick star. So doing this, you can see it fills in, and then it is going to take this, and already this modular router is set up to pull the item out of the bottom and then send it back into the pattern provider, completing the craft. Now over here is where things are going to change, because I did have the regular star craft over here, but we actually no longer are going to craft all the mod stars utilizing this particular pattern. No, we are going to be creating a new pattern. Also, hello, Wandering Trader, offering me absolutely not. Do you understand? We are in creative item mode. Get lost. Can't believe that guy. Now, anyways, back to what we were working on. So yes, we are going to be making a new pattern for this. So in doing so, we are going to take our Patrick star, and this is going to be the new encoding recipe. 47 of these, and then the Patrick star. We can now create the new star pattern. And inside of here, we actually want to break this, and we want to take our power distribution card, pull that out temporarily, because this not having power will allow me to clear and recreate a new star recipe. So now that we have the star inside of here, we can search up star, have it automatically send the required ingredients, pull that out, and then actually make the star itself. So everything is now in. I'm going to save, Make sure to click, select, and also hold shift and select. Now it's ready to go. And then now we can just throw the power module in and it's going to automatically craft a star. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. I mean, this right here is already the full star automation. This will perform a craft when needed. It'll send the ingredients in here whenever a request is called. And then this one will just simply craft up the star when another request is called. But how are we going to do this? Well, we can use AME requester. And so we can have this constantly requesting stars indefinitely. We'll have the batch size be set to 1. And let's actually toggle this. Let's see. It does say not letting me adjust the amount size. Locked request in progress. Okay. So we'll take this and let's set this to like a unreasonably large number. So the amount to keep in stock. So always keep that in stock. And when it does a batch size, just do 1 at a time. So now this is the batch size, which will constantly now craft all the mod stars, and it will forever keep crafting those until it reaches that amount, which is just a ridiculously large number for these stars. So I think that's a pretty decent method of doing this. You could also have it craft itself into a barrel constantly with an exporter. That's another way to do it. But there it goes. So it's now batching those items, and then just stars are going to be constantly being produced now. Beautiful. But now, while I wait for those blocks, I might as well go fishing again. Might as well. I mean, what else do you do after basically completing a mod pack? You just go back to fishing, you know, back to the basics, and hope that you get, you know, a Patrick bee. More Patrick bees. Please give me a Patrick bee. There we go. Another Patrick bee. Oh, that only took a little bit of time, but I still need a few more of these. And I believe this is the last Patrick bee I need. I've got a bunch of Patrick bees and I ended up taking out a lot of bees in the process. You know, just look away. And looky there. I even have enough to make all of the star blocks to be able to get this up and running. Okay, so I'm going to get all of my bees in place. Kind of worried about my bee being inside of a block. I really don't like the way that looks. But there we go. So now we have 4 all the mod star blocks. Get those all converted into starry bees. As of right now, this is high, medium, and then this one's high. So I do need to grab another high just to make sure they are all in the highest productivity. Comb, we need treats. And I'll get that combined up. Beautiful. And now, give it to that guy. And we have an entire hive filled to the brim with starry bees. That is fantastic. Now, whenever I accelerate this, it really kicks off. And would be even crazier if all the productivity was in here. But I am kind of wondering, with more of the bees in here, that should mean this fills up faster, or maybe not. Probably not still. I doubt it. Well, I mean, yeah, it is a bit faster. We're already up to 81% on the gene. So yeah, it definitely does make them faster. That's kind of nice. And fantastic. There's a 100% starry bee, allowing us to actually make a starry bee with an egg. So we'll take our egg and we'll take these out of here, get that out, combine this with a treat, and we will have ourselves a starry bee egg. Look at that. And now the bee, of course, has no use outside of just spawning another bee. But yeah, you quite literally just spawned it in. It is of medium productivity. So yet again, I'd probably want to take one of my highs and make sure that it is as productive as possible with treats. Then we just simply toss it into another hive. And now we have 2 of them that we can accelerate and hopefully get more genes from. I have a feeling this is going to get like exponentially faster, where we could potentially fill this entire row with star bees. Oh yeah, this is way faster. This is way faster having 5 of these in here. I tell you what, this is so much faster at generating whenever you have like an entire section of bees in here producing. Like this is already 100%. Yeah, I mean, I now have 3 full hives. I'm starting to feel like that's probably good enough. Like that this is going to be producing a good amount once we have all of the productivity omega upgrades. I mean, probably faster than we're going to be consuming these, I think. Oh, also, by the way, if you've made it this far in the video, here's a little tip too that you may not know. You can actually use any slabs to just simply change the look of the feeding slab by right-clicking said slab onto that feeding slab. Pretty interesting, huh? So now to just drop all of the Omega upgrades in here and just let these guys rip. I mean, honestly, with all 3 of these running, this might actually cap out what our system can do. No, it doesn't. Oh, this just generates so fast when accelerated. I think this is just kind of fun to do, but we can use like a storage monitor right here, take our stars from AE, and now I can store the stars in here, and it gives us a nice little display from Applied Energistics, and we can use like a camo block, and we'll just decorate the backing here just like so, and it's completely embedded into the wall. It's so cool looking. And so now I have definitely achieved greatness. I've got all of these upgraded. Our bees are now producing. I've also gone through quite a bit of this, done a little bit of decorating where I now have these identified as what they're auto crafting. These are auto crafting, for example, the Patrick Star. This is auto crafting the actual star. Our display here, we have 555 stars currently, and these are just constantly generating. I mean, honestly, it's pretty slow going. If you increase the batch size, you can tick accelerate this. But man, these ultimate auto crafters are the most unsatisfying crafters, in my opinion. You can't see what's happening. I really did like the create method. Oh, those are really, really nice to watch happen. But this right here, I mean, yeah, not my favorite mod ever. Extended crafting has always been one of those things that's just, it's kind of meh. You don't see anything happening. It's just like doing the craft, but I don't know. Maybe in the future, some recipes will be changed. Maybe there'll be multiple ways that you can craft it. This pack really seems like it's still in development, as there's only chapter 3 available. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't even been fully done yet, and we've now got this all full and automated. So I think that is going to be it for today. Tomorrow or next episode, we are going to be definitely working towards making creative items and seeing what fun shenanigans we can get up to with those creative items, because I don't want to get to the end game of the pack and not actually do anything with it. I still will have a little bit more up my sleeve that I want to play around with. So definitely be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. This has been a wild episode, and without further ado, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter that makes episodes like these possible. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to, if I can get that H uncapitalized, there we go, going out to Tom F. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and honestly supporting my content in one of the best ways possible, you absolute boss. And thanks to all of you who are watched throughout this entire series. You guys make this possible as well, and I appreciate you very, very much. And I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.